So I'm going to introduce everybody here, and then Jamie's going to give you a little breakdown on basically what a yearbook is and how once you give it to us, what happens from there. So I'm Maureen, this is Melissa, and we work together, Joelle and Jamie. And I've been doing this, I think I'm going into about my 25th year. Melissa's in her first year, except for her whole life has been yearbooks. 5 years for Joelle, and
15.
I keep forgetting. Jamie seems like he's been around forever.
And then I started in middle school myself.
Okay.
So really my whole life.
Yeah.
5 as a rep, 4 as a teacher.
4 as a teacher. So a lot of experience in the room. Again, I made Melissa do it in high school. And so, because I just knew she someday was going to work with me. So. But anyway, Jamie, you want to take over?
Yeah, so I just want to share a little bit about how the yearbooks are made and then introduce you to the other half of the team. So we're your local reps. You work with all of us here locally, and then we have folks in Kansas City. Some of you in the room have been to Kansas City, some have not, but I have a little video from them as well. And it's about 5 minutes to show you how your books are made. So to start, I wanted to, a little trivia. Does anyone in the room, except Larry, can define CMYK? You've probably heard these before. Yeah.
Cyan, magenta.
Why? I'll give you a
It's
hint.
not yellow. Yeah, okay, yellow, and I thought that was too easy.
K is a trick.
K is black.
Exactly. So the reason I brought that up is that's our world. So do you have any photographers in the room? Okay, that's how I got started. So our world is RGB. We all have heard that, right? But in the printing world, it's CMYK. I made this in high school, college, when I got a degree in printing. So it's kind of falling apart. But I want to show you a color separation. So this is how we print your book. And by the way, this is how everything is printed. Whether we're talking yearbooks, this book, the billboard down the highway on 355, it's all the same way. So we start with the substrate, so paper, right? Yellow, magenta, cyan, you start seeing images come together, and then K, black, brings it all together. So just a quick visual of how your book is made. It's kind of neat. And if you ever get to the plant, and I'll show you a video because most of us can't get there, it's really cool to see how that works. So we do that on all your photographs, everything including colors mixed with those 4 colors. Okay? The other visual I want to show you, and you all got one of these in your kit, this is called a sample signature. Has anyone seen one of these? Right? So this is a sheet of paper. If you can see it, laying down, a pallet basically comes into the press, brings a huge stack of it, and that's what goes in the press. Okay? This side happens to be black and white. That's color. But what I want to show you as our reps, as we come to you at school and say, hey, do you think you could get page 3 done? Throughout the year, we'll probably randomly ask you for, it'll seem random for a couple pages that we really, really need. I want to show you why. So this piece of paper is made up of pages 1 through 16. The next one is 17 to 32, and so on. So when that gets folded, it creates what we know as page 1, 2, 3, and so on. Okay? So it's really cool. If you were to look at any book, even a textbook, and you open it like this, and you look at the spine right here, you'll see groupings of these guys all sewn together. Okay? So as you might imagine, when we print your book, we don't wait until April or May. We print it in pieces. So as soon as we get one signature done, we print that in quantity. I'm going to show you a video that'll kind of explain that, but that's basically how your book is made with the guts. Any questions or anything you want to add?
I just wanted to add the video that you're about to see, Jamie actually produced for us. So you may have seen another video that the plant has done.
Yes.
This one's a little bit different, and I think it's better.
So
he's a very good photographer.
So all of you work with one of us right here. All of us, sorry. The 3 of us went down to the plant, was it last year?
Yeah.
Right? We went to check on things, check on covers, check on SIGs and all that. And one of my goals was to bring my camera gear, which we're recording today, by the way, so we can share some of this later with other schools who couldn't make it, how things are made. So let's play that real quick. It's about 4 minutes, like I said. And then we have a little welcome from the plant for you. answer it for you.
And so now, especially for you that are new, the other side of your service is these 4 people right here, and it's good to put a face with a name when you call them, and here you go.
My name is Ellie Long. I work with Ann Urbanic. I'm going into my 3rd season here at Herff Jones, and I work with about 280 schools.
My name is Sarah Eagle. I work with Jamie Silver. I'm going into my 11th season here at Herff Jones, and I work with about 300 schools.
My name is Debbie Thomas. I work with Maureen Olofsson. I'm going into my 29th season, and I work with about 300 schools.
My name is Christy Templeton. I work with Joelle Sexton. I'm going into my 6th season, and I work with about 300 schools.
Have a great
Have a great year!
I just asked them to do that last week, so they just recorded that for you guys. So as you see, there's a lot of experience here within the room, and I always say, I don't know if you guys, we have a team here to help you. So those are your folks in the plant in Kansas City. So welcome, call them, call us, call tech support.
And they're not even, I mean, it's a little overwhelming for us, and I'm sure even for you to hear 300 schools. What's really interesting is you're going to call them and they know you by name. I mean, they're absolutely amazing. And they're not the only ones. I think there's 16 to 20 of them as well. It's we're putting a huge addition on the plant. So when you saw that overview, I think it's doubled in size. None of us have been there since the construction has begun. Started shortly after we left last year. But our goal is quality and service and on-time deliveries, and you guys are the publishers and making the books that you want. A couple of you guys brought your books. Sharing them, we want you to make the book that it's best for your school, and what's best for one school might not be good for someone else. So we're going to talk, in kind of general terms to try to get you the best book that you can. New this past year was myhjyearbook.com. It came out at the end of last year. So if you have been an advisor for a while, you may not be familiar with logging in that way. So I would encourage you definitely to start logging in through myhjyearbook.com as opposed to going straight through eDesign. And some of the reasons that you want to do that is you can get to everything you need from one site. Another thing that you can do too is it looks different for the different from students to advisors. So for example, when you first log in, and I just logged into one of my school's books that actually uses the different things. So they've already sold books. So they've already sold 892 books. They have, their goal is 3,000 books. This is new Trier. So, you may say, oh, 800, they're almost there. And I'm like, no, they're not almost there. And then as they work on their pages, you're going to see a progress bar that goes across here. So you have edit, proof, pre-flight, pre-submit, and submit. So your best day ever is when this whole bar is green, because that means you're done. But as you go, we're showing that they've actually touched a few pages and they're that color. When you're working, what I suggest is when a student thinks the pages are done, you have them put it in the proof button. That makes it so that they don't have them accessible to them anymore. You can look at them, and they're very easy for you to hit unproof or return to edit so that they can work on them again. But it kind of locks them out for a while you're proofing. Then when you're here, you have eDesign, plant, and deposits. So questions that we often get are, did you get my deposit? When are my deadlines? And this is a super easy way for you to always know that. So your plant deadlines are right here, and your eDesign deadlines are right here. So your eDesign deadlines are the deadlines that your students will see. So the plant deadlines, they don't have this button. So if you want to exaggerate when the deadlines are due and give them a little bit earlier date, which I would encourage everybody to do, they are only going to see them here, and they're going to be listed. So they haven't actually written in their deadlines yet. And then the plant deadline. So the plant deadline, it's a hard deadline. So when you hit the submit button, it's gone to the plant, and there's no proofing after that, okay? So that's why it's really important, especially if you have a larger staff and students, that you give yourself some time to proof things and make sure spelling is correct and content is correct and filled in. So 1 to 2 weeks is definitely whatever kind of cushion you need, depending on the size of your book. right down here. So, you know, like, see, that's how many students are actually in the school. And this is the coverage report. So you can tag pictures in the yearbook with the student names once you've uploaded the student database, which I'll show you in a minute. And so then as you use them in the book, you can keep track of who has been in the book, you know, who has been used in the book and who hasn't. So if it's one of the best tools for trying to sell your book, because if a student's not in the book, chances are they're not going to want to buy it. And if a student has been in the book, you know, 5+ times, and somebody else hasn't been in the book, maybe you don't do that candid picture of that person. Now, there's going to be always those students who are in everything. So they're the president of student council, and they're the football coach, you know, the head of the football team, and all those things. So yeah, they're going to be in the book for those reasons, but it's, you know, it's really good to try to find those kids and reasons why you might be able to get them in, you know, and at least get them in the book, you know, 1 or 2 times would be awesome. No, but it is so hard to keep up on all of these things. So especially for the people who have been doing yearbook forever and ever and ever, we are constantly trying to make your jobs easier. And as we have these different items, and also, it's really important if you think, I really wish eDesign would do X, you know, let us know. Because Jamie and I have both been on the tech committee before. It's a 2-year stint where they asked different reps to be on it. I don't think you're on it anymore. Yeah, he just finished up. But, you know, Joelle hasn't had a chance on it. Melissa hasn't had a chance on it. But we get that information to the correct people. And that's how all the changes in eDesign happen. It's because, not because somebody sits in a little room and says, I wish this would happen. It's because the yearbook advisors say, I wish it would do X. And enough people say that.
In our